no doubt that after this video, I will be taken off of Twitter probably, but it doesn't matter. I've been shadow banned on there. But this is regarding, it actually goes to what I've been talking about back and forth with that lawyer with free speech. Because really, what is the history of man is that even if you're in slavery and a gulag, they can, yes, they can be like 1984 and they manipulate you long enough that you end up believing the false narratives. That's happened to all of us. But ultimately, they can't stop you from believing in God because you have a free conscience that they cannot control no matter what they do. Except this can change everything. Because what do you think this is really all about? I mean, of course, they'll bring it on the heels that it's going to help quadriplegics and people with brain injury and this, and they'll do these heartwarming, you know, stories about, oh, my life was given back to me. Oh, this is so wonderful. Look at what the technology and science has come up with. No. If you have any idea what your government is capable of, you would be like, why is this being allowed? Well, because you're not going to be able to stop the science and the military. They will do whatever the hell they want to. I swear these people are twisted. There is something wrong with their head. Yeah, I probably will be removed from Twitter. I really don't care, Elon Musk. You haven't let me have any reach anyway. Yeah. Silence the people speaking the truth. You know it's the truth. And then what really gets me is the people that have the millions of followers, and then you realize how they're like, you almost look at them like as controlled opposition. Like, so the Patrick Bet-Davids, all of them, you know, that allow Tucker and Elon Musk allows them to have all this platform. But really, and all of them have great things to say about Elon. And I'm sure, I mean, Elon's on his 12th child, so it's really nice he's trying to populate the earth and all, just saying. But you know, he wants to put these things in children. So there's something wrong with people that want to do this. And yet, you know, the Glenn Becks of the world, you know, all of these people, I'm not trying to rip on them. You just have to wonder what the hell's the matter with them. Like, because if you understand what our government's been capable of at this point, there should be nothing you're saying is positive about this, because there's not anything. This literally is so that you don't have the right to a free conscience anymore and somebody else is controlling it. This was supposed to get off the ground in 2020, but Neuralink got delayed until 2023, and then FDA's approved it on human subjects, so that tells you who FDA is. Neuralink's brain implant procedure involves drilling a small hole in an animal's skull and inserting a coin-sized wireless chip in a specific area of the brain. Yeah, there's already been massive complaints because of animal abuses. Because the science, they're literally... I don't know what happens to these people. I don't. I think a lot of it is they go into these universities. They think that they're experts, as I always say. They're told that they're experts, and they come out, many of them, especially in the research area, as psychopaths. Like literally, because then they go on to do all this stuff that doesn't need to be done. But I mean, how many human beings with a heartbeat, with a brain that God created, does the science have to destroy in search of its own sickness? How many? How many? Because it wasn't enough, you know, 50, 60 years ago, since the beginning of science, okay? I mean, the amount of abuses to people, when do you people stop? You don't. That's the problem. They don't stop. And especially now, they won't stop. So in April 2017, Neuralink announced that it was aiming to make devices to treat serious brain diseases in the short term, with the eventual goal of human enhancement, sometimes called transhumanism. So it's not a conspiracy theory. That's what these people want, and why they want everybody to be interfaced with your brain and computer is because then all that Constitution stuff doesn't matter, because they control, because really Elon Musk, Neuralink, whoever the programmer is, becomes the God. I mean, I don't want to live that long, seriously, and the longer this stuff goes on, the sicker I am being on this planet altogether. And of course, not saying that like I'm suicidal. I would never be that way because I believe in Jesus. But it's just, no, I know there's something more than this. I know this isn't my permanent home. And I don't want anything to do with this. But the people that do seem to be really just hell-bent on wanting to control everybody else and them living forever. Okay, yeah. You know what? Go do your stuff. Leave the animals alone. Do it on each other. Why can't Elon Musk do this bullshit to the World Economic Forum? Because all the people that want to make this transhumanism stuff, then go do it to them. Go do it to them and leave the innocent animals and people alone. Musk has said his interest in the idea partly stemmed from the science fiction concept of neural lace in the fictional universe The Culture, a series of 10 novels by Lane M. Banks. Musk defined the neural lace as a digital layer over the cortex that would not necessarily imply extensive surgical insertion, but ideally an implant through a vein or artery. He said the long-term goal is to achieve symbiosis with artificial intelligence. Why? 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 In the good Lord's name, why? You just have to wonder, what's the bloodline of these people? Like, really, does it go back to some of the bloodlines in the Bible? I'm just joking, of course. Which he perceives as an existential threat to humanity. Through neural lace, a form of brain-computer interface that is implanted into the brains of young people, and grows with them, the culture has the capability to read and store the full sentience of any being, biological or artificial, and thus reactive a stored being after its death. The neural lace also allows wireless communication with the minds and databases. This also necessitates the capability to read thoughts, but as described in Look to Windward, doing this without permission is considered taboo. Well, as if that's ever stopped the science. I mean, that's certainly not something they ever seem to care about. Neuralink tests their devices by surgically implanting them in the brains of live monkeys, pigs, and other animals. Neuralink's animal testing has been criticized. It's been criticized by Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. But of course they get a pass. Of course they do. Look at our government. In February 2022, Neuralink said that macaque monkeys died and were euthanized after experimentation, denying that any animal abuse has occurred. Well, I guess the United States Department of Agriculture went after them, but then, of course, found nothing. In October 2023, Wired reported that Neuralink worked to keep details of animal suffering and death hidden from the public. I'm sure they did. Because these people are not right in the head. I'm sorry to say that. I know many people like Elon Musk, but there's something wrong with people that want to do this to others. Yeah. So, I mean, at what point somebody has to put a stop to the science, and I don't think that we have a law, justice, or anything that will stop these people. Because everybody seems to be on that side, don't they? And the people that aren't want to say, well, I'm sure that this can be used for good things in some ways. No, it can't. Look at our government, look at our world, and the very fact that people want to say, well, we just don't want to lose our humanity in the process of doing all this. Look, most people's humanity was gone a long time ago, which is why we've gotten to this point. So to think that somehow we're going to still keep humanity and this can go on, please. This is why it's going to take, this is literally like the Tower of Babel on steroids times 1,000. Okay? It'll take God intervening because these people will not stop. They're not right in the head. They may have all this education, spend all their times because universities are involved in all this, tons of researchers and scientists, but you know what? They're not right in their head. And it goes back to the ultimate story, man wanting to control everyone else for some sick, twisted reason because they themselves have a sick, twisted brain.